Flooding has been a growing concern in Needham, especially after the devastating storm in 2023. Now a new study is shedding light on the roots of the problem and what it may take to fix it. From outdated infrastructure to the impacts of climate change, consultants say the solutions will not be easy or cheap. Yusha Yuan has the report.
The study traced the town's flooding problems to decades of unregulated development between the 1940s and 70s. When wetlands were filled, streams were diverted, and stormwater infrastructure was built without modern standards. Phil Paradis of the Battle Group, which led the analysis, highlighted neighborhoods that suffered severe flooding during the August 8, 2023 storm.
Highgate and Woodledge, you can see the intersection on the left is in the middle of, really in the middle of a swamp, and on the right it's fully developed. A similar case in High Rock neighborhood, where the High Rock School was built in a swamp.
Paradis also pointed to Eden Road, Coolidge Avenue, and Prince Street, where stormwater pipes are missing or too small to handle heavy rain.
It really doesn't impact this neighborhood because they're at the top of the hill. What happens is that it runs down the gutter, inundates Harris Ave and the streets below it, and that's where it floods because there's just not enough capacity to get it into the system or pipe size.
Today's trend of larger homes on smaller lots is adding to the strain.
Now there's no place to put them, to put the recharge systems or whatever.
And on top of that, climate change.
We're getting more rain in the winter, less in the summer, but when we do get rainfall events, they are much more intense.
Fixing the system, Paradis said, will take decades.
It's years of poor or unregulated decisions that were made, designs that were done, and it's going to take the same number of thoughtful, purposeful decisions to correct those.
Their recommendations call for a sweeping overhaul, from new regulations and infrastructure upgrades to expanded flood storage, starting with a complete stormwater system map to guide it all.
The mapping of the infrastructure in town is very weak. It's very difficult to quickly do an assessment or model something or design something because of the it's either inconsistent or has been changed.
The study recommends factoring in drainage upgrades for every future project and considering how changes in one area impact the rest of the system.
When it comes to designing or doing these improvements, it really needs to be a holistic effort. We need to be able to assess what's going to happen if we improve it over here, what's going to happen downstream, or how that all is going to be integrated together. Can we do some improvements up here to relieve the problems down here?
Another recommendation goes as far as purchasing properties for additional flood storage.
The town could also consider if there are any properties that are up for sale, if they're in opportune storage areas, or if they're already being flooded out, they might be opportunities to buy.
But timing is critical.
It just seems to me like the longer we go on, once the property gets redeveloped, it becomes more expensive. So understanding at least parts of town where we may generically have some interest in creating storage that are not previous wetlands or essentially
Right.
trying to build a wetland in a wetland, would be useful to have that understanding.
Town manager Katie King added those talks would need to happen in executive session to protect the town's bargaining power. The select board also sought advice on the town's stormwater bylaw, now under review with proposed changes headed to town meeting this fall.
One of the things that was noted here was that our stormwater bylaw only requires us to capture 1 inch of rain on our impervious surfaces. The new bylaw is looking at 1.5, and I'm wondering if you have thoughts on whether that's enough, what you would recommend in an ideal world, what you're seeing, in comparison to towns similar to ours.
Paradis, who also serves on the Neponset River Watershed Association Advisory Council, pointed to the association's study showing meaningful flood relief does not occur until 4 to 5 inches of recharge, though most towns require just 1 or 2, with Brookline being an outlier at 5.5. However, he emphasized the enforcement is more important.
I think it's a regulation piece, like how much, maybe restricting excavation into the groundwater, so you're not pumping, you don't have to pump it.
Right.
Because if you build a cellar in the, you got to have a waterproof system or whatever.
Overall, the study laid out about 40 potential projects across Needham's 16 watersheds to tackle erosion and flooding. But as the consultant noted, the cost will be high, and town officials are being urged to keep pursuing grants to fund the work. For Needham Channel News, I'm Yu Xiaoyuan.